December 31st. It is 9:03 a.m. Let's see. Community input. Any community input?
Oh, we don't have
An agenda? I have an agenda.
We'll look at it, okay.
Let me, let's get one from Caroline.
We had great sliding. We went out Saturday morning in the rain. And went down the hill.
She printed them, she just forgot to deliver them.
Oh, that's awesome. So by the time Sunday came, it was all hard and froze across the field. It was,
So is there any community input? All right, the two of us can go ahead and approve the minutes unless you had a problem with them.
Nope.
December 19th? Okay, excellent. Here are the agendas. Thank you. Thank you. Looking to see if there's anything here that we can do without Mike. You didn't say how long he'd be, right?
yeah.
He might have said that he was stuck in the coffee line. So I'd give him 10 minutes. Do you want an agenda, Ms. Tamara?
No good, thanks. I don't want
Yes.
to, I just would prefer to just
Yes.
not
Not be
know.
aware.
I just don't want to know how much longer.
Okay, so you'll manage that?
Oh, yeah, when do you want this invite, because obviously you don't want the car sitting there now. And we can't move it, it doesn't have a battery.
Uh-huh.
So my thought was, oh, we could just bring it down to the shed, and then it doesn't move.
I
Didn't
was
she
doing
say
it.
it didn't move?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it doesn't move.
I don't remember, you could well be right.
But now we're gonna have to shovel it out too.
Why didn't you wait?
We couldn't sell it because we didn't have the title, and the title didn't come in till now.
No, I know.
So, wait until.
Oh, wait until spring?
We can't, Jeff needs a spot to put the snow. Yeah, that's the
Well,
corner that the snow gets
You
piled
know,
in.
Jody, I'm very happy to just delegate this, authorize you to manage this,
Okay.
any way you see fit.
Okay.
If you think something needs, you want to confer with the board as a board, feel
Yeah.
free, but
No, just putting it out to bid now, but how short do we want this window to be?
I would say, use your
And then
judgment.
Our next meeting is
We're not
when?
meeting till the 9th, right?
So I can put it out now and we'll just close it on the 9th.
Yeah, do we think we're gonna get that, a bid?
We hope,
Yeah, okay.
we always hope.
If we don't have any, we don't have any, then we
And
can
if
go
you
back and
don't,
try
then
and
we
work,
do
yeah.
what we can.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
But can it wait till the 9th? But it would
Well-
have to, because we have to approve the,
We have to approve
it anyway.
We have to approve the bid, yes, but
So
as
it's
far
hard
as
to sit
move,
there till the 9th.
yeah, unless you wanna think about some
I'll ask
other,
Jeff.
yeah, You
So
wanna
I'll just
sort of
delegate
confer
with
with-
Jeff and.
Ducharme and St. Jean and see what,
It might be, you might be able to jump the battery long enough to move it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll ask them what they want to do.
I thought I saw him come in. Do you have any waylay? Let's put this over. All right, there's nothing in the building inspection code enforcement that I'm aware of. Health inspector, fire, transfer station. All right, we'll talk about the stickers and the deadline for that.
Sorry about that. I had it down at 9:30 on my book, or phone.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Bacon.
Thank you.
All right. So we've started the meeting, we did minutes and community input and that sort of stuff, but we're now at something that, we should at least have a little discussion on, and that is the transfer station stickers, and when should they be required? And I guess for me, I was surprised with this question, why don't we just start in January? I mean, why do we even have this period? But I'll let the two of you weigh in on this.
I'm confused, they don't go into effect January 1st?
They are going into effect January 1st. They have a grace period of a month last year. And
Okay.
Jeff was like, when do you want us to enforce the sticker rule? Because they can't buy the stickers at the transfer station anymore.
Right. Okay. They have don't we start selling them in December or November?
Yeah,
So they have a month or two to buy them?
yeah, that's,
I don't understand why we need,
I don't either, but
a
if,
month's grace period.
exactly, I'm absolutely on your side. But if that's been our practice,
I'm
Yeah.
not suggesting that's my position, I'm just asking, I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, they're effective January 1, and we give them, we give people a window to buy them. So if they're used to having a grace period, we can do it this year, but next year I'd like to put out, an email that says, hey,
It's fine.
or put out advertising that says, you need your transfer station stickers on January 1.
Okay. I'm ready.
Right? I mean, when my motor vehicle expires, it expires. Yeah, grace period.
Yeah, when the chief pulls me over tomorrow, there will be no grace period.
That's correct. So better get it, whatever, inspected or registered or whatever it needs. All right, so we'll tell him February 1. Do I have that correct for this year?
Yep.
But next year we'll see about making sure that they become effective on the first of the year. All right. The demolition fees, I don't know where we are with this. Did we delegate this to one of us to think about or ponder or make a recommendation?
I think so, now that I remember.
Well,
I thought we were gonna have a public hearing because we wanted to go over it, and then we found out that the numbers were in line with other towns anyway, and they weren't, charging the minimum still. So we asked them to enforce that minimum $5 for when throwing it away,
Okay.
so.
What about the Freon? That was the thing that started all this, $5 increase for Freon.
Yes.
Should we do that? And that would be the only thing,
Just to cover our costs, right?
just to cover our costs. Would one of you like, well, here's what we need to do if we want to do this. We need to schedule a public hearing with the change.
Yep.
Here's the amendment to the transfer station fees.
Yeah.
And then, that's it.
So that would be.
Do we wanna do that in the middle of budget season and?
No,
No.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm busy, that's why, if
yeah.
one of you thinks you have the time to do it, we could try it. If we wanna postpone it to like,
So it's not much of a, how much of a draft is it just for a $5 increase? That's the only thing that'd be the only change, right?
right,
So we could schedule, do we have anything,
are you gonna create the public hearing notice and the draft and that sort of thing? Is that what you're volunteering to do?
difficult, so, the 9th,
I'm telling you.
the 16th or the 9th?
Well, then,
16th?
well, not the 9th, the 9th, Mike
16th is a holiday.
Davy's coming, so,
23rd, let's do the 30th,
okay, 30th, 16th, fine,
6 p.m.
okay. So we could probably do it at 6:15, I don't imagine if it's one item that is going up, so, right.
We're getting it correct.
You ready to have me continue, do you want to?
Sure, go
Okay.
for it.
All right, so under police, Chief Ducharme's not here, but he called me before the holidays, and I emailed the board, and our officer did not get into the academy. At first I thought there was some performance issue. It's not, it's a wait list. It's a
Right.
wait list, yeah.
Yeah.
They already had the number of recruits, and they just go by chronology as long as they pass their physical or whatever. So he passed his physical, but he was waitlisted, so he will go in May.
Yep.
And so Chief Ducharme's plan is to start doing his field work now. So he is an officer as of whenever we hired him. He'll be doing field work, his field work training,
Yeah.
go to the academy in May, and then when he's back, he'll do, a couple of weeks of field training just to get readjusted. But he'll be on his own much sooner than most people who come back from the academy, because usually the academy comes first in the field work.
Hopefully.
Yes, correct. Okay, budget. Does Caroline have a P, excuse me, I'm gonna check out a PO for the roofing. Or the proposal.
Is that one of these folks?
Is it?
I don't know. Yeah.
I'll ask her.
I don't remember my folder yet.
Is that interest?
Purchase orders are usually my folder. I
Right.
don't have my folder yet.
Mm.
All right, she's gonna get us the contract and the contract proposal on the PO, so I can review with you budget statements so that we can make a decision.
Yeah.
No, it's not in there.
No, no.
Okay, so. For you, and believe it or not, one for me. All right, so, this is 2016. On the top line is our operating expense appropriation. The expenses that you see there were as of 12/23. All right, and then I added in these expenses that were not there, the 3,000, only to reconcile with the download that I got from Carol. I didn't bother to make sure I had everything lined up, it was just a $3,000 difference. 11,450 for the demo cams, which did not get paid, but the invoice is in. The $15,000 payroll that just happened this week, $4,000 in associated payroll taxes and paychecks expenses, the $20,000 for our membrane roof that we put out, $2,000 for salt, $6,000 for the height PO that we're carrying forward, it will be payables, $472 for civil works. This is, I mean, it's a pass-through in the sense that we get reimbursed from this, it's from planning, but still, it's an expense in our part. Not sure about town hall mold. We had a $500 PO for camera drain piping. I had asked Caroline to look for other POs, I think she's still in the process of doing that. However, with all of those items factored in, that's the amount of expenses, $1,475,000, leaving us with a BBA, budget balance available, sorry, of about $145,000. So the roof contract from Murphy is for 20, right? The shingle.
Right, I think we should
Steeple.
write the purchase order for a little higher because it said if weather permitting, like happened today, they would have to hire the crane for longer.
Yep,
And they'd have to hire it a week at a time.
yep, would you say an additional 5,000? I don't know either.
I know, it's so high and I don't know what the weather's gonna be giving us. I know they're really quick about their roofing, but I've only seen their roofing done in the springtime. So I know once they start, they get it done in a day. But
So if you do up to an additional 5,000, just gonna go back into, we don't have to spend it.
Right,
It'll
yeah,
go back in
right,
the fund
right.
balance.
Does that say, yeah, so we'll do it for 25,000. And we'll still be returning over 100,000 to fund balance, which is nice. And it's probably more because I think we have more revenue. We will have had to collect more revenue through 2016 than we even anticipated in October.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Tom's financial statement will give us the final numbers. Okay, so we'll wait for Caroline then to bring us, she's gonna bring us an empty PO and then the contract proposal, but there's just the figures on which we should do that.
thanks for doing that.
You're welcome. All right, town warrant. I guess I'll start with that. So, I spoke with the bond counsel via email anyway, on our bond warrants. So our bond warrants, she hasn't reviewed them yet, but they follow her model. And she recommended combining the warrants that are the same purpose, because each one of these is a separate warrant with a separate bond, polls have to be within an hour, blah, blah, blah. And so what you're seeing is a warrant that, if you look at page 2, and we'll come back and look at the whole thing, I just wanted to look at have you see the bond warrants. They have to come before the operating budget, they have to come first, I think, actually. So it's the fire engine, culvert repair replacement, and then the transfer station has been collapsed. Now, I didn't know what to do with the 2 town hall things. So one we're doing now, presumably, right? So that melts away. And the other one was the boiler, which is going to, I asked Mike Davies, a boiler replacement on your energy performance contract proposal. He said, yes.
Okay.
So that, those 2 items are gone unless the board sees a problem with that. All right. So those are the bond things. I'll walk you through the rest, but, this is still draft, it's for you to look at. I've asked Kate to take a look at Article 1, the ballot. The ballot vote for the motor vehicle is highlighted because I'm not sure whether it's on the written ballot or, so I'm checking with DRA on that. And it could be that we need to have 2 warrants for this. I mushed them all in one, but, so it both establishes the Transportation Improvement Capital Reserve Fund and does the fee. And it may not be politic to put them together, I don't know. I don't know if either of you have a thought, I'm gonna check with
Probably,
DRA.
I think that, well, I saw your email with DRA, probably has to be separate, but think about it.
Okay, so we'll see about that.
It's a good place.
Yeah, right, it's highlighted so that we know we still have to deal with that. So then there's the 3 bond warrant articles, the operating budget, none of these are numbered yet, so they're, and then this should be all of the items that are in our capital and reserve budget sheet. And so the road resurfacing, the town hall drainage, town hall security, now you'll see how I wrote that one. See the town will vote to raise and appropriate $20,000 to install security upgrades to town hall, to authorize the select board to apply and accept state and federal grants anticipated for this project, and to authorize a withdrawal of $10,000 from the capital reserve fund established for this purpose. So it states that we're anticipating, $10,000 worth of grants. And the same is true for the next one, that we're appropriating and raising $75,000, but we're only taking $50,000 out of the CIP because we believe that the grants will cover the rest. Command vehicle, truck, capital improvement reserve fund, these are all as they have been in our budget sheet. Conservation Land Trust Fund, so the town revaluation reserve fund comes first. We put the last 17 that we asked the town for the last $17,625. And then we asked for this to withdraw all of it to fund the reval. Land surveys, it's just that standard thing, and then the authority to sell surplus. So we still have to, on the last page, we still have to change the meeting dates. And I thought there was one thing, the other thing that I wanted, I think I highlighted it. Under culvert repair and replacement, it wasn't highlighted on my sheet, but I think yeah, page 2. So I put down, and to authorize the selectmen, I'll change all of that to select board, that was her wording. To authorize the selectmen to take any other action or to pass any other vote relative thereto, and to withdraw $50,000 from the culvert repair replacement fund for this purpose. I don't think we have to put that because we have agency, yeah, on that fund, and we've been spending from it this year.
Right.
So, again, I will check with the DRA on that and see if we have to put anything. I'll also talk to Renell about that. So please look this over, see if, if there's anything that doesn't sound correct. On the 9th, I'll come back with hopefully we'll have all of these things straightened out. And I will still consider it a draft, I think, until we have to not make it a draft, but that will be what I'll pass along to the budget committee after Wednesday.
Yep.
That's the,
Yeah.
it's okay, we're gonna make sure. everybody's on board. All right, so that's the warrant. Here's what our budget sheet looks like now with some of the changes that I just talked to you. Well, I guess it's just one change. Well, no, more than one. So if you look at road 296, transfer station improvements, it's been combined into one line. Rather, we had like, we had two lines before.
Yeah.
And you don't want two bond warrant articles for the same, really the same purpose. So, and I think I changed it from 188 to 190 only because I just rounded it up.
From 188?
188, yes.
Okay.
If you don't want me to do that, you just let me know. And then I withdrew the town hall, the two town hall lines. You know, the roof and the boiler. And so now, if you look at the number in the bottom right, 1,025,000, that's the amount that we would likely need to finance. I think it was 1.1 million before, or close to it, now it's that. So that's, again, information. Should we talk, I could talk to you about financing a little bit also. The US Department of Agriculture provides loans for infrastructure, sort of thing.
Okay.
Is this the first I mentioned this to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I came across them at the Municipal Association conference. And so we had a couple of just sort of email back and forth. And then the woman from USDA wanted to arrange for a conference call this week among me and her colleague in Vermont. And so that happened Wednesday.
Okay.
And they think that they have loans that have better terms than the bond bank.
Really?
That's what they think.
Okay.
There are ways that it would have to be 3 applications, one for the infrastructure, one for the fire engine, one for the transfer station.
Okay.
We would know on 2 of them before town meeting whether we've been approved.
Okay.
One of them, I think, is just April. We could probably get a term of 30 years for the infrastructure. Whether we want that or not, that remains to be seen. The one thing that I liked about this is that there was no penalty for early payments. So you could pay it off early. I don't think that's the case with the bond bank. So it occurred to me, because it occurred to me, I says, well, is it worth considering a 30-year term for the infrastructure, because that infrastructure is, can be amortized across that period, and then you're like 50-year projects. And because there's no penalty for early repayment, the stresses that, if you look at my 10-year planning, the stresses are the first 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So we could start to repay that quicker after that. But, it'd be entirely in our hands, so. So anyway, why don't you think about that for a minute or two? Because the next thing, and we have to apply for them soon.
Right. And so, town meeting would still need to authorize.
If you look at the warrant, yes,
So-
here's let's take a look at one of those bond warrants. Let's take a look at the first one, the fire engine.
Yeah.
So we're asking to raise and appropriate the entire purchase amount, $450,000. $450,000 of that sum to be raised through the issuance of bonds or notes under and in compliance with the Municipal Finance Act as amended,
Right.
to authorize us to apply for, obtain, and accept federal, state, or other aid, if any, which may be available for said project. So that if we get that fire engine grant, we can just apply it to all of that.
Right.
And to authorize the selectmen to issue, negotiate said, sell and deliver said bonds and notes, and determine the rate of interest thereon and maturity and other terms thereof. And to authorize the selectmen to take any other action. Or pass, blah, blah, blah. So what we're asking the town for is permission to buy the fire engine and to finance it in the way that we deem the most appropriate or efficient or whatever for the town.
Right. So a bond requires a supermajority. Does USDA loans require a simple majority?
No, I don't think so, I think it's the same.
It's
Because I
same
asked them, I said, so do you, I asked USDA, do you still need the services of the bond council? She says, yes.
Okay.
She says, and Renee, she asked me who it was, who our council was. I
Yeah.
said, Renee,
Yeah.
yeah. She said, she knows our program inside and outside, inside and
Okay.
out.
Why didn't she suggest it then?
That's not her role.
Okay, all right, that's
You
fine,
know,
fair
it's,
enough.
yeah, it's not her role. She's there to tell the people who are loaning us money,
Right.
potentially,
Right,
that
right.
we are, we've done our homework, our warrant articles are in order, we're financially solvent, blah, 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 that's her
I got
role.
you.
I wasn't quite clear on that at first myself, but that's her role.
Okay.
Do you have, are there other questions or thoughts? So, we would need to get, in this application form, some of them are due like mid-January, we need to get,
Okay.
Hoyle Tanner
Yeah.
to submit help us submit a form,
For
which
the
she said,
culvert,
for the
yeah.
culvert work. She says, if they've already done design work and work on it, it's gonna be really simple, it's not gonna be expensive for them to do that.
Okay.
So we could ask them to do it, we have money in the culvert
Yeah.
repair fund for that,
Yeah.
if the board wants to proceed along this way. It's like, we have a number of paths that we can be taking. If we don't wanna close any windows, then this is one we have to attend to sooner rather than later.
Right. What,
And Caroline was also there at that, this is the USDA.
what were the terms, I'm sorry to say, the terms again?
The terms for the infrastructure, so the culvert could be 30 years. The fire engine will be shorter,
Right,
so for a vehicle, it could be 10.
sure.
And the transfer station, they're not sure, it would probably be some mixture. That one's gonna be a tricky one just because it is a bunch of different things.
Is it house of USDA?
Do you even accept that?
Yeah, he said yes, he said yes, and he would help me wordsmith it or whoever, wordsmith the application to make it fit. Now, we don't need to accept it, right? We're just applying.
Yeah.
If they say, yes, you're approved, we say, thank you very much, and then we, it doesn't stop us from going out and continuing to look for other avenues.
Right.
But if we get the ones that are due in January, they already know what the interest rates are, and they're going up in April. He says they're gonna be going up every quarter, as far as he can see.
Sure.
So we could lock in January, what he says is 2.75.
Okay. So let's just say, for sake of argument, we don't get these government-backed loans.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still gonna have enough time to hold all the hearings, everything we need to hold
Oh, I
for
see.
bond?
The hearings we still need to hold those hearings, it's for financing.
Okay, it's only for the finance.
Yeah, so the hearings are for the financing, so we're gonna have to hold them whether,
So we'll explain to people then that we're trying for these USDA loans, and if they don't come through, then we're gonna go with bond.
we can tell them we're exploring a number of financing avenues. One of them is USDA, one of them is the New Hampshire Bond Bank, which is the one, sort of like our last resort, I guess, right? Because the application for that is due April, and with funds in June, July. We've got the engagement letter from that financial consultant. I don't know how you feel about that. I would like to see how some of these other things go before, some of the things we can do, what we think we can do on our own.
Yeah.
Like the USDA. Are you okay with my pursuing that path, including it up to having HTA do an application for us and that sort of thing, for the USDA?
Locking in a better rate, I think that's great. And there are better terms, there's no penalty for paying off earlier, better than a bond.
Do you have a thought?
I agree with Mike, I just, along with that, maybe we should set those dates for hearings now sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we're gonna need, they have to be between January,
Yeah.
I've got between January 20-something.
Yeah.
The ones that I put forward, yeah.
Yeah, but I put down, I made some of my own for the ones that were pertinent. Dates. So, public hearing on the bond note issue, we can hold it any time from January 13th to February 27th. But it has to be noticed 7 days ahead, including a newspaper. January 13th
To February.
to February 27th, and we need to have, it has to be noticed, including in a newspaper. So the hearing is on a bond or no, it's on it's on financing. Really, we are asking them to give us the ability to finance. So yeah, do we have the budget, because there are budget meetings that are scheduled for Saturday. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you have
Saturday,
it?
Friday?
Yes, there are two. January 14th is the school.
Mm-hmm.
February 11th.
Oh, yes. February 4th is the SB2. February 11th is public hearing and town budget deliberation.
No, it's a busy February for everybody, so.
That's what it said, probably we better book it now.
Do you wanna do it, January 28th? Do you wanna do it February 18th? The only problem with waiting till February 18th is that if there's a snow,
Can't you do it the 21st? Or does it have to be a Saturday?
no. Did I not say 21st? Is the 21st of January?
Yeah, does it have to be a Saturday?
No, it actually doesn't have to be Saturday. If we're gonna have it in the, we're gonna have it in school, it depends on whether we think more people come out on Saturday. Was there anything booked on Saturday the 21st? Salma?
No.
Okay, so what other time or date were you thinking, Jody?
I wasn't sure how many people would attend and if we could do like an evening or something. But then
Here?
that might cut into everybody else's.
Well, for example, no, we're not asking for the same kind of a bond, but when the school was floating the idea of a $7 million bond, the American Legion was sort of like filled to overflowing, as I recall.
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
So, we don't have to start at 9, we can do it at 10 in case, or maybe it's better at 9.
So we're into 9 AM on the 21st? And
9
so
a.m.
snow days,
21st of January. Okay.
And are we asking to be at the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Caroline, do you think you'd be able to arrange this?
So it needs to be in the paper. You want me to contact the school? Is that what you're saying? Arrange?
Contact the school.
School.
Put in the notices.
Would you mind writing up, because I think the language is probably very specific about what that notice, or send me something to
I will.
give me some hints?
I will.
That would be great. Then yes, I will.
Let me write that down as a homework.
snow date was 28th?
28th of January? I think there is something on the 28th though.
No, there isn't.
All right, so, excellent then.
Winter Farmers Market.
So we're talking 21st, public hearing. 1/21, 1/28 snow date. 9 o'clock AM. CL to post, SMH to provide text. Post and arrange. Thank you. All right.
Okay, I don't mean to throw you under the bus or anything, but if we ended up with a snow date, I'll be in Boston that day,
Which day?
the 28th.
20th? Oh, God, I will manage it. I threw Mike under the bus once, and I wasn't at the public hearing for a budget committee, because I had a niece who was getting married.
Okay, good enough.
So, you know,
It happens.
it happens.
It's our annual dental conference, so don't try to find a dentist that weekend.
All right. Thank you for the warning.
We're all in Boston.
Thank you for the warning. All right, so that's the town warrant. So the other thing about bond warrants is that we'll need, so you will see me sending an email message to the town clerk. I'm gonna respond to Charlie, by the way, I think he sent, did you get that email? So I'll respond to Charlie and I'll send this information to the town clerk. We need a separate ballot box for each warrant article. And a separate ballot for each warrant article.
I'll try to say that again.
We need a ballot box for each bond warrant article,
Okay.
a ballot for each bond warrant article.
Okay, that's good.
And then the poll is open for an hour. Now, I don't know what that means, so that's where I'm gonna ask Charlie to try to figure that out. It would be nice if we could have those hours be concurrent. Right, so we'll ask him to check in with his moderator
Probably have
list.
to have 4 hours of each
Yeah,
ballots.
that's right, yeah. I mean, I'm sure other towns do this, and so,
So you'd have to have 4
I don't-
different ballot boxes.
3, we're down to 3 now.
Yes.
3, yes.
But you'll wanna have 4 because anyone can ask for if you're gonna be able to conduct other business while the polls are open,
True, good point.
anyone could call for
A ballot.
a ballot
Yeah.
on any of the.
Written ballot.
As you recall, there was some folks that wanted every single warrant article for a while. The last time.
All right, so I'll put Charlie and, I'll give Charlie and Kate notice on these things. And other than that, I'm not sure, so we've got the public hearing schedule. There's also some things that we'll need, some financial statements. I've got the checklist, and I will push that along to the folks who need to do things, like the town clerk needs to certify some things on our behalf. We need some financial statements, so, and if you haven't seen the checklist, it's online, and I'll send you the link, so you can look at it again.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're okay with like responding, with thinking about that financial consultant engagement letter?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, mailer for town warrant. The budget committee has recommended, not the committee, a member of the budget committee has said, well, it might be great for you to hand out an email on what's happened, which is a good idea. So I will take a stab at drafting something.
They want to do what? Say it again?
At the budget meeting, they had a newspaper flyer that the town of
Barrington
Barrington
puts out.
had sent out
Yeah.
of what was coming up
Oh, nice,
and explaining everything.
nice.
So I really like the idea.
Yeah.
I was there
Yes,
that night.
yes, thank you for it.
So I really like that idea.
It's a
So
great
we
idea.
have
It
something
allows
to
us to
soak
put
in.
forth our, and it's complicated.
Yeah,
This is a, it's gonna, you know,
Yeah,
there's
sure.
complicated
Right.
issues. There are important things we're trying to do, but it gives us an opportunity to kind of summarize them.
Okay.
So I'll take a stab at that, that's all right?
if you want it in, you're talking about sending out a flyer, not just an email, so it goes out to all the residents, right?
Flyer, paper.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear me say it again?
Yeah, you're gonna put something on paper.
Paper.
I'm so excited. Sorry.
It's all right. Wait till you get to this later on in this
Okay,
meeting, when you see why I'm not good with paper.
okay.
All right, so I'll work on that. We got the treasurer's report. Were there any comments? Everything seemed good? Solar energy exemption. I would like to just take this off the list until we actually get a request from someone.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Are you good with that? All right. Someone was supposed to come see us, but energy performance contract, Mike Davey is coming the 9th, at roughly 7 o'clock. And there's a little bit of a chicken and egg thing going on between him and our legal counsel. You know, Steve wants to see the actual proposal, and he says, well, it's gonna be sort of like this one.
Right, and you won't
So,
show cards yet.
yeah, whatever, so maybe he's not done, I don't know, so I'm gonna let them figure that out. I mean, I did talk to Steve a little bit on Thursday morning when I saw him for the Fogarty closing.
Yeah.
And so I laid out the issues to him, which he understands perfectly. He says, there isn't, you know, he talked about that there would be a non-appropriation clause, but there's the equipment or stuff that's already here, and what happens to that? And I said, correct. So, you know, maybe there's a buyout, maybe, you know, so
Yeah.
that allows a board to decide to buy out the contract. I don't know if that's sufficient, but anyway, he needs to see it.
Of course.
So that's where that stands at the moment.
Okay.
Rec committee, mission statement, is there anything we wanna say on this?
They haven't created a mission statement yet, but I did wanna ask the board, now that they did create a committee, and, they're under town entities, does the basketball have to notice that they're meeting? Cause they posted that they have a meeting, just on Facebook, but it's not a public notice. So how far do you wanna take this? Yeah, technically they're a town entity, they're supposed to post it, they're a subcommittee. By the rules that I sent out to you guys, all subcommittees are supposed to be public notice. So now that means basketball and Family Fun Day and.
Well, Family Fun Day is not town. They're a 501c3.
Well, that's right, we donate to them.
We donate to them, and we include them as part of the rec committee only because it's good planning wise. But their committees are their own. Maybe they have to make them public as well, but it's not because of us, because of their 501c3 status.
I would say if they're having a business meeting, then yes, it needs to be posted, and that's just as simple as letting Caroline know, they can put up, she can put up a flyer here and at the post office.
Right.
The library could do it, and then if they're just having practice, then that's not a public meeting.
Well, no, when
Yeah.
their board and their coaches meet, that has to be noticed now.
Yeah.
Which they don't know yet, so we're still
Yeah.
walking through this together. Because I believe they're having a meeting this week, so I knew there was time to tell them today what we decided. So
I mean,
there was
that's,
enough
you know,
time.
that's what we should be encouraging. You know, I know that, you know, I've missed noticing some of the meetings,
Yeah.
you know, it just, things just happen sometimes for some of these things.
And they don't even know yet, they're just
Mhm.
finding out.
Yeah, exactly,
So
so,
I didn't know how far you guys wanted to take that, so.
well, I like to be practical and
Yes.
pragmatic, so that's my.
Practical and government don't go together normally. So, I didn't wanna be cumbersome either.
Yeah, exactly, so, but it's not, let's ask the municipal association.
We did, I sent you that link.
Oh,
Yeah.
did they
The
talk,
subcommittees have to be,
subcommittees of committees?
yes,
Oh, I haven't read it yet.
that's, you've got enough on your plate. That's why it's on my plate.
So, yeah, all right.
So, and
there
it's
you
just
go.
as easy as
It's
having
not
them
difficult.
put a
Are they
flyer.
gonna meet here? Are they planning?
No,
on
I think
meeting
they're meeting at the school or the library, I
here?
forgot.
Okay, but in a public place?
Yeah,
Yeah, then that's fine. Yeah, they should just,
okay, I will
they
let you
should
do
do
it.
it, it's simple. All right, cruiser rebid, we started this, Mike, I think before you got here. And Jody is on the case and will manage that on our behalf, unless you had an objection. Including dealing with Chief Ducharme and Jeff about, you know, the car and where it should be until we get it out of here. All right, I came across, I was, you know, processing some emails that I hadn't gotten through this morning, and I saw that, I emailed it to you, probably haven't even seen it yet, but it's from SRPC.
Yeah.
So the Volkswagen settlement, that's a meeting, it's not, so there's a meeting that they're hosting, I think, I don't know where it is, I think it's at SRPC, on January 20th at 9:00 AM. I don't know, whether it's a meeting, we really should be at.
Well, I read the email this morning.
Yes.
The categories of what would qualify for, there's a sort of, so there's a pot of money if the government
Yes,
council
from the-
accept the settlement.
Right.
There's a pot of money, right, but it's very restrictive as to what it could be used for.
Oh, I see.
It was-
So I
it
didn't,
was
get down
It
to
was
that
like
level.
for forklifts at docks, and it,
Forklifts?
yeah, I mean, it's just one of the examples.
Oh, okay.
It was
Well-
really strange, I was like, well, I don't
Well,
think,
thank you
like, for airports and things like that, it didn't seem like.
Well, if there's no reason for us to go, then that's fine too. I just, wanted to make that opportunity available, because, and tell you that I'm not gonna be able
Yeah, I don't think
to
we,
go.
here it was, it is at their
It is at
their office on
SRPC.
Wakefield Street, the high school they built and never used. In Rochester, couple work anyways,
That was
as
a
dis-
superfluous comment.
mind-boggling, stupid is what it was. As described in the consent decree, eligible projects under the Environmental Mitigation Trust include Class 8 local freight trucks and port drayage trucks, whatever a drayage truck is, school, shuttle, and transit buses, freight switchers, ferries, tugs, ocean-going vessels, Class 4 to 7 local freight trucks, airport ground support equipment, forklifts, and port cargo handling, there was another term I could remember, light-duty zero-emission vehicle supply equipment, and non-federal match for Diesel Emission Reduction Act projects. Those are just some of the, so
What was, read that last one?
at first glance, it didn't seem, at first
Could you
blush,
read the last one again?
non-federal match for Diesel Emission Reduction Act projects, the
Okay.
DERA projects,
Yeah,
which I don't believe we have anything.
well, we submitted one this week.
We did,
We did.
a DERA?
Yes, we did.
Okay, well, this could be your non-federal match then,
Well,
potentially.
potentially. Well, I'll tell you about it when we
You
get.
and 246
So,
other communities?
well, why don't I talk about it now? So, at the last SRPC meeting, there was a woman from DES who just happened to be there, and she just happened to mention, well, the DERA program
Yeah.
deadline is January, whatever, so if you have a piece of equipment that's more than 20 years old or something,
Yeah.
whatever it is that it has a diesel engine, you better replace it,
Yeah,
we can provide some money for it.
right.
So Chief Rutherford filled out the application. I think I sent it to you.
This is for the fire.
This is for the fire
Right.
truck.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Now, it had to be on the CIP for 2019 or later, which it was.
It was,
It
yeah.
was. So we'll see what happens. I submitted it this week. And
Okay.
we should know something at maybe the end of January, maybe at the end of February, but if you notice, if you recall, in the bond warrant article, they all say you can apply federal or state grants. So it would just
Right.
reduce what we would have to borrow once we,
Great,
Once
so we
we
can
get
apply
that.
for this as well, then too, if money comes
if,
from, if money
yeah,
comes from.
right, so.
Awesome, great. But I still don't think we're gonna get any port cargo handling equipment.
I'm looking for an ocean liner myself.
How will the ferry take us across to Berwick?
There we go.
Anyway,
Between whatever, the
It'll be-
hydro and Fogarty's or something.
Yeah, it might be cheaper than a new bridge.
Okay. Okay. Town hall maintenance steeple shingling. Where did Caroline go? Did she bring in the?
I'll check.
Okay. We can do welfare too while she's here. I think that's why she's hanging out.
Pretty much
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay. So we thought of putting 25,000?
Yes. Because the bid was for just about 20.
Yeah, it was.
And then it said that,
Yeah.
you know, warning due to snow and delays.
So I'm gonna put, just as a note, contract proposal plus additional 5,000 to cover additional equipment rental. Okay, and do you have the, is there a proposal there? Have you seen the proposal?
Oh, that's not today.
This is for the
Isn't it right
steeple?
here?
Yes.
Yeah, it was emailed, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
so, okay, so you saw the proposal, oh, there it is there, okay. So the proposal is for $19,900. It includes the rental of a 120-foot boom lift for 2 weeks. And it says any unforeseen delays, including weather, which may cause equipment rental to exceed the 2-week rental figure in this proposal would be an additional charge. All right, so given that, are we ready?
Yes.
Do we have to sign this? So I would like a motion, yeah, to both accept the proposal and the purchase order.
All right. I make a motion to accept the proposal from MJ Murphy and Sons to do steeple reshingling for $19,900.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Move to accept purchase order 914 to MJ Murphy and Sons for steeple roof repairs for a total of $25,000 due to possible delays.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Excellent, I will sign both. Are you our contact, or does Caroline?
He's been contacting me and I've just been forwarding it along.
Okay, would you
they
like to
were, they were
continue?
supposed to, yes, so
Okay.
that's fine. They were supposed to start this week and it was delayed because of the weather and the holiday. And so they said they were gonna start next week, and then I forwarded it along to Kate and Caroline. I think I co-copied you guys, I'm not sure.
Yes, you did, thank you.
So they know what this strange man on the roof are for.
Hi Caroline, you ready for Ralph?
I am.
Just give me 1 minute. Okay, very good.
Move that we go into non-public session.
Oh, you have a list of things.
2016-012, discussed, no action. 2015-16.
We have to do, we're gonna do that publicly.
Well, that's true.
We're about to do that publicly.
And then 13.
Okay, so
So
for
it's
case
not-
number 2016-012, there's no action. For case number 2016-013, there's no action. And for case number 2015-016, we're authorizing up to $500 in moving expenses.
Second. Okay, any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay, so this, all right, so the occupancy permit was just put in front of me and I will be signing it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. And sir, you're here for
Occupancy permit?
occupancy permit, well, there you go.
You need a copy of it, ma'am?
Could you check with Caroline, who's in the office, and you need a check for the $50? Will you check?
You take cash?
Sure. See why not? Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Take care, Corey. Bye.
All right, so where were we? Town maintenance, stable showroom, credit cards, there's no action. The annual permit, no action. Policies, procedures, no action. So we're down to town administration. So there are a bunch of things that I was involved with, and I think, let me just look at my list here, I didn't miss anything. Bond council, we've talked about conversation with bond council and the fact that there'll be some homework assignments to various town officials on her checklist, and I will email you that checklist in case you lost the link. USDA, I've had phone conversations with them, and we're gonna pursue financing with them. Fogarty closing was Thursday morning, so I brought the checks to Caroline, I think she's deposited them.
Great.
And I was looking at email from the top down, and I saw an email from Steve that mentioned me showing up at 9 o'clock. And it wasn't until later that I guess she had arranged.
It's all right for me to do it, so I'm
Yeah.
just as happy if you've done it as me,
Yeah,
so.
so that's done, and I did use the opportunity to talk to Steve about the performance contract at the end.
Yeah, it's confusing if you do the new operating system on your phone, the way they organize mail now.
Well, this is,
Doesn't-
no,
oh,
it's
you did
through
do
here,
that?
yeah,
No,
it's through,
it's
it was
weird
my
on the phone
town,
now,
my
so.
town email, and I was just working, I had so many
Oh,
unread.
yeah, it
So,
happens.
so that closed, no problem, except we needed our tax ID. We were notified about,
Right.
I got an email about
We
an
found
hour,
those,
an hour before. So did you hear how this unrolled? Have you heard, okay, so an hour before, I'm at home saying to need the tax ID. So I said, Caroline, are you around? Can you give us the tax ID? Because I had nothing at home that I could think of that would have our tax ID.
Right.
So we're at the closing, haven't heard from Caroline, I call, leave a message, haven't heard from Caroline, she wasn't necessarily scheduled to work, right, it was Thursday morning. So then I said, well, let me call Beverly, maybe she has something at home with her tax ID. So I called Beverly, she says, no, I don't think so, but I think I know it. She rattles it off.
There you go.
And so they used it, and then Caroline did check in a little bit later. I said, well, can we at least confirm? Beverly had a call.
There you go.
Just letting you know.
Wonderful.
So we were able to close, the checks are deposited. I think it's a little bit less than the 45,000 because of, the taxes and the deed recording.
How much was it?
Oh, it would be nice to say that, wouldn't it? I don't know, it's about $1,800 less than the $4,500.
Filing for the,
Yeah, various filings of the tax,
registry.
yeah. The paperwork's in the office, all the closing documents, if you wanna look at them. The whole closing packet is I gave to Caroline with the check.
Should we
So,
split the closing costs with the purchaser, or?
I signed all the papers that our legal counsel told me to sign.
Okay, it's fine.
That's the best that I could tell you right
Okay.
now. But I do know the calculation of the amounts, there's one worksheet and it says what everything is. I think it's mostly taxes and maybe the deed recording, I'm not sure
Right.
exactly what.
It's Maine too, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be,
it follows
different,
their tax years and
yeah,
fiscal
exactly.
years are
I didn't think about
different.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Both tax and fiscal year.
Fair enough.
So that happened, the performance contract, I told you, chicken and egg, Davey and Roberts are kind of working it through. Actually told you about the Dura grant that Mark
Yeah,
helped
wonderful.
figure that out, and so we've got that filed with DES, and we'll see what happens there. And the other thing is, I may have told some of you individually, I don't know, but Town and City, the Municipal Association magazine,
Yeah.
is profiling me for their March issue. So I filled out,
Wonderful.
answered some questions, sent them along, and so we'll see what happens there.
You're suggesting we actually read that month's issue?
I'm not suggesting anything, but,
That's wonderful.
just letting you know, thank you. And I think that's sort of it on my part. Anything happening in your respective worlds? We've got basketball.
We got basketball coming up this week, that's all this week. Rec committee doesn't meet till the 22nd, I got a not that far.
Okay.
Yeah, next, Tuesday, right? Let me just double
Yes.
check. Tuesday is,
Planning board.
planning board meeting.
Oh, okay. Are there hot issues? There's the, subdivision regs that, it's for them to
Mhm.
act
Do
on.
that
Good.
again.
Yeah,
We're gonna work on, changes to zoning. Mr. Macklin, if he has.
Yeah, that, they have real timetables
Yeah.
given. And we'll need them at some point for the warrant if there are going to be some. You anticipate that there will be some?
There should be at least 2, I think.
Okay. Well, good, that's more manageable. I mean, last year I think there were 6.
Yeah, you won't need anything like that. And we have, some building permits we want to do those.
Yep.
Actually, why don't we do the abatements first? So back when on, the primary day, presidential primary day, I think, so back in January of this year, when we went through and we updated, the system for the, taxable, inventory of taxable property forms, you know, people that have turned them in and had not turned them in.
Yes.
And we're assisting Andrea with that. 2 of the properties are owned by the
Roman Catholic
Roman
Church, I see
Catholic
that.
Diocese
Bishop
of
or whatever,
Manchester.
yeah.
And I asked her, I said, well, why are we doing this? Because they're tax exempt. She said, oh, we have to. Well, here's the 2 abatements. We charge them a $10 fee. They're exempt from filing the form, so we have to now fill this form out and legally exempt them from the $10 fine for not filling out the form they don't have to fill in the first place. There you have it.
All right, it's gonna require the
All
signature
three
of
of
all of
us,
us, okay. So it's all for their property on Church Street?
So it's right,
Yeah,
it doesn't,
yeah.
it's 440
Just
Church
two,
Street.
yeah.
So they have 2 lots.
Yeah, and they don't use that for any kind of money making, they don't
I don't
rent,
know, I don't think
they
they
don't
rent the
rent
parking
parking lots
spaces.
or anything?
And I was thinking that too, actually. The church in Durham just got
Exactly,
a
yes.
Supreme Court case, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't believe so, but maybe, we should find out. If they do, then parking lot is taxable. Okay, so the first building permit, let's see, the numerical order here, is 2016-177, 649 Main Street, which would be the building to our left. Gentleman is doing a complete rehab, kitchens, baths, sheetrock, trim, electrical, plumbing. This permit includes the electrical and the plumbing fees. Mr. Clark has reviewed, and just so everyone is aware, 3 of the conditions for the renovations that Tom has made them aware of, that there needs to be an approved fire suppression constructed between the dwelling units. It's a multi, obviously. Approved means of egress must be installed, and installation values must be in compliance with New Hampshire Energy Code regulations. Which is 3 very good reasons why we have Mr. Clark. And so, total estimated value of construction that Tom has confirmed is about $200,000, and the fee is $2,025.
Michael, you need to sign the 2
Oh,
abatements,
yeah.
and you'll need to sign this too.
I'll sign it on the web, that way I
Okay.
get it back. I'll fill out the approved and all that. The next is 2016-179, 46 Old Mill Lane. They are putting in a high-efficiency gas heating system for $20,000. Mr. Clark has reviewed, the fee is $225. And he's got to, you contact him once it's been installed, so we can go and inspect it. The next is 2016-180, 50 General John Sullivan Way. They are installing a generator for $6,400. Fee is $95. Mr. Clark has also reviewed and has asked to be informed when it's installed so we can come back and review it again. And that, my friends, is the end of 2016 building season.
Actually, these amounts will be probably deposited with 2017, which
More
is
than
fine.
likely. And that's it. Send it back, I can sign it.
Mhm. There you go.
Thank you.
Is this folder done?
His folder's done, yes.
I'm done.
Alrighty. What are we doing with the parked car?
Parked car.
That's
us
The
about.
parked car, well, that's, Well, is Caroline still here? I don't know. We, do you report to, Okay, so it's being dealt with today, so I guess it's just going to be towed. Good question. We did, I think somebody did contact the owner, or tried to, not the owner of the car.
Are we talking about the car on South
South
Street or
Street, yes.
the cruiser that's here blocking?
No, we're
the
talking
stuff?
about the truck on South
I
Street.
got you, okay.
So we did, I know we tried to, couldn't contact the owner of the car, but we did, I believe, contact the owner of the car.
And we never got any response?
Don't know that, I just know it's being handled
Okay.
today.
The police are taking care of it?
Yes,
Perfect.
all right.
All right, steeple of roof we've already paid. A certified public accountant in Portland, Maine would like to offer their services for our audits.
I'll take a look at that if you don't
I
mind.
think that'd be good to keep on file.
Yeah, absolutely.
Castle would like to thank us for their for our $500 gift.
Okay, very good.
And NRRA has a invoice for their voting dues for $176.89 with attached flyer and all the good that they've done this year in recycling.
So do we normally,
Yes, we're a member of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's how
Can we
get-
hold that for next, let me see that.
Yeah. So
For
we're
yearly dues.
a member, and that's how
Yeah.
we got our free sign this year.
Voting dues, okay,
And the
so,
grant for the containers.
so do you want, I can just sign this, but for 2017, because it's the voting dues are for April 1st, 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to leave it in the folder and transfer
Uh,
purchase order?
I think we'll,
We don't need it.
no, we don't need a purchase order. I'll just put for 2017. Do we still have that folder that Caroline had?
With the checks?
With,
No.
yeah, with invoices,
I'll put it in later.
okay. She'll put it in for a 2017 payment.
Okay.
You know, Jody, as long as that's come up. So with regard to like, you know, the grants that we are eligible for, would they help us with the compactor?
No,
Okay, would they help us with the canister for the compactor?
no, because it's not recycling.
Would they help us though with our third recycling demolition thing?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Yes, as long as it has a general demo, no. We have to give it a specific reason why we're using that can.
all right,
Like, one of the cans would be for
I see.
holding the
shingles.
refrigerators, or holding shingles, or holding something we're gonna separate out.
Yeah, all right, well, could you give it some thought?
Yeah, oh yeah,
There's no particular rush, you know, right now, it's in the bond, it's part of the transfer station, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And it says that we can accept grants,
Mhm.
and so if you could think about a case for that third demo can.
Yep.
To get something back, that would be,
And that's what we have to work with Jeff and the transfer station guys on too. What else can we separate out
right,
to?
yeah, and it may or may not work, but
And-
that's.
And they do have a
something to
nice
keep in
vision
mind.
of where they want these cans at the transfer
Oh,
station
good,
anyway, so
super, super,
I'm gonna keep that.
yep.
All right. Unitil. Oh, we do have gas lines in Rollinsford. So,
We do?
yes, we have them up Highland Ave. I have gas. My neighbors have gas.
Oh,
Is there gas, maybe it doesn't go as far as you, but.
it may
to
go
Alexander's,
to Alexander's, I think there are utilities, the waters, that goes to Alexander's.
Near-
But there
close-
isn't,
very
there
close
isn't
by.
gas, there aren't gas lines
No,
here,
no, no.
these are on the periphery and close to Dover.
Yeah.
So do they need us to do anything?
No, this is just the emergency responders and elected, for municipalities, the username and password for their municipality website.
Are they giving us a username and password?
It's, I think it's for everybody,
Let me see.
but,
All right, so we'll just file it.
so. And, speaking of underground, we do have water lines going up Highland Ave. So Dover had a water leak this week and on Highland Ave. And my brother called me thinking it was my house, and it wasn't my house. So I'm like, oh, totally forgot. So when we do Highland Ave, and any of those, we've gotta make sure that we don't have water lines on Berwick, or did Ross get water lines? Ross Road get water lines?
No, but so what
No, they're
is it that
wells.
we're, what do we have to pay attention to, I guess, about, what do we?
If they're, let Dover know that when that road comes up for paving, a couple of years in advance, so
Oh, I
they
see.
can plan if they wanna redo the
Ah,
water lines.
I see, yep, yep.
Because they did have a water
All right, let me,
Berwick Street does have.
Do they have water? It didn't even dawn on me, because I know mine comes right under Oak, but I totally forgot about the upper part of Highland.
so we'll note that in the 10-year road plan, so, okay, so
So while I'm thinking of it,
So Berwick Street has water, and Highland, Dover, and it's Dover water
It's
in
Dover
both
water.
cases. Okay. Okay, we don't care about, it's not, we don't care about Rollins, but Rollins is state.
Right.
Okay, but so Berwick is the only,
well, it's Dover water.
yes.
Dover water goes up to.
So you have Dover water?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It goes
But I
up
mean-
to the greenhouse, I
I
believe.
think it goes to
Oh,
the
maybe
greenhouse.
because of the greenhouse, that would make sense. But we don't have to worry about, I mean, Rollins Road, the state would take care of that thing.
When it's
but-
paved, yes.
yeah. So, but Berwick is, we need to take care of. Okay, perfect, thank you.
Didn't dawn on me until my brother called and asked if I was having
Oh,
water
that's
problems.
good.
Health Trust info, their audited financial statement is available online.
Okay, thank you.
This we saw last week, this is the approval from the Department of Environmental Services for the subdivision on Clement. This was just that their
Yeah, it should just be
application.
filed, yeah.
So, you wrote this,
there,
is this
their file.
to Steve? Or is this Steve the selectman? Is this his writing?
Yeah,
Okay, that's not your writing. Okay.
New Hampshire.
So this is from
it's way up
Pittsburgh.
there.
This is from the Selectmen of Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. I'm writing on behalf of the boards of the Selectmen in Pittsburgh, Clarksville, and Stewartstown to share with you a concern we have about the legal control of municipal roads and how to establish principle of home rule applies to the continued ability of municipalities to retain control over the municipal roads. I also write to ask you to consider writing a letter to defend the principle of home rule as it relates to municipal roads. It goes on about the Northern Pass, but this is because of Northern Pass. So, I was reading it earlier. Apparently, the Northern Pass people have never formally or informally asked the town's permission to use roads for their project. So,
Well, would either of you like to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah. Do you mind if Michael just takes
I
a
think
read?
the issue with the site review, state site review committee deals with it.
so they wrote, sounds like they wrote a formal letter to
Hmm.
Town of Rollinsford from Sticker, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission.
Oh, is that our hydro license stuff?
Looks like a flyer.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a form, really. Maybe just an annual statement.
Yeah. I will hand this directly to you.
Okay, take a peek at it. Oh, it's an errata notice, so they must have published something and they're correcting. They're making minor corrections. Yeah, okay, we can just file this.
Okay, this is from the Department of Safety, the Division of Fire Safety, from the State Fire Marshal. In accordance with RSA 160-C:(I01). All right,
I know that one well.
yeah, right? Any municipality in the state
by action of its local legislative body or local governing body, may vote to allow or permit within the municipality the issuance of permits or licensing to sell permissible fireworks or the display or possession of permissible fireworks.
So we can allow, as far as the state division of fire, blah, blah, blah is concerned, we can allow people to sell fireworks. Is
Right.
that what that's saying?
And
Okay.
if you remember right, when, even though they got a permit for fireworks for Family Fun Day, they didn't get the state permit or something.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. That's a
So,
good point.
We'll
just-
send this
we'll just
off
file
to,
that. Well, they're not selling it though. I
No.
think, isn't this just,
just an FYI.
yeah,
We got a Christmas card from the people,
They tinker with the fireworks a lot
every year, oh, I see. All right, sorry, Jody, go ahead.
that's okay. We got a Christmas card from the people that we used to auction off that house on Portland Ave a couple years ago,
Okay,
and nothing else.
all right.
That's it.
So this actually, this is very interesting, not that I'm not staying any longer than we already have, but, yeah, the legislature in the last session, or the session before last, precluded the Northern Pass project from being able to access the concept of eminent domain, as a means to try to stop the Northern Pass project. And obviously had not been successful, but they're arguing that when the legislature changed the law, they changed RSA 231:167, provides that if a landowner has suffered damage as a result of the installation, the landowner must apply to the selectmen to assess damages in the same manner as laying out a new road. In other words, the town would be liable for taking the responsible for paying the damage assessed, not the Northern Pass project. So in this case, I mean, this is just Eversource in the northern part of the state to the middle part of the state. It wouldn't actually affect us in this case, but in other cases it could. So now it makes a lot more sense why Pittsburgh would be contacting Rollinsford or any other town,
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure they've sent this out to all of
Yeah.
them. Well, do you want to read it and
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
recommendation
I'll-
next week, or
Yeah.
next time we meet? All right, I don't think there's any other business, so any community input?
We were talking in the hallway before. Do you have an update on the bed bug situation?
We keep asking, and we have, unless one of us has heard independently from our health officer, no, I don't. I'll send another email. Or maybe I'll also ask Caroline to try to contact him.
I was gonna say, did he reach out to Caroline at all? Because that's been a
I
couple
don't
weeks since the
know,
last
is
time
Caroline still here?
and I think I saw her walk by.
Oh, right, she did, she
We,
left.
we emailed him at least 2 weeks ago, right?
And, yeah, not the first time.
Just forgot.
Yeah. So, we don't know. The board
Yeah,
doesn't
I'm
know.
just
Yeah, no, it's a good
checking in.
question, yeah,
Yep.
thank you, appreciate it. Anything else? Well, then I will conclude this meeting and wish everybody a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.